of old Ben, and obviously Kenobi watches over him. That's why he was there.
Yeah. Do you
So
remember
that
in the
tie-in made
first
perfect
episode
sense.
of Kenobi, one of the people trying to capture Leia was Flea from the Red Hot Chili
Flea,
Peppers?
yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers, fucking great. It was great. It was so good.
Mm. But also, what else was? Oh, so Andor is good if you don't pay attention to anything Andor does, because like you have like, because I was literally talking about this with Sir Charles before I got on the call. He was like, Andor's such a nothing character in the grand scheme of things. Like he's not needed.
Doesn't he die?
He dies in Rogue. Everybody dies in Rogue One.
Yeah.
You know, the most important character in the Andor series is Mon Mothma, and Genevieve O'Reilly is doing a great job.
Yeah, people love Mon Mothma.
Yeah. Mon Mothma's also people are saying that you finished the Clone Wars cartoon, right? William. Did I just lose Will?
Sure.
There you go.
Turn camera on and off.
Something like that, yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you. Sound a little choppy.
Barely hear me. Sound a little choppy.
You sound better now.
Okay. So I watched all of Clone Wars and season 1 of Bad Batch.
Oh, okay. Bad Batch is
Oh, you
fun.
know what it is? It's my internet.
That's what. Okay.
Internet's been shit. Internet's been shit the past few weeks. I got to
LAX been fucking with you guys. All right. Hey, everybody that's joining us. We are kind of holding out on Kay. If Kay's not here in, a couple more minutes, we'll start, and Kay will probably join us a little bit later. But we have some fun things to talk about since we've been gone for the last 2 weeks, like that kick in the nuts finish to night 2 of WrestleMania. God, you know how?
Yeah.
You know what it reminded me of when I instantly saw it? I was like, wow, they did the AJ Shinsuke spot.
Mm-hmm. So they just did it better.
Barely. I will say this though, because I don't know if we'll get to it.
10 megabytes.
I will say this. Travis Scott, pretty good seller.
Yeah. Yeah, I have
a lot of thoughts,
on
especially
it,
since The Rock opened his fucking mouth.
Yeah, and fucking
Yeah.
lied. He so much shit. He's like, oh, tickets for Elimination Chamber were down. One.
No, they weren't.
No, they weren't.
As a person who was there, no, they weren't. Fucking Dwayne.
God. Okay, my internet connection is going to be in and out, so if you lose me,
gotcha.
Back.
Well, I'll carry I'll carry on from here and there, and stuff like that. Yeah. The bad part about WrestleMania is that everybody who shouldn't have who had a microphone in a media interview shouldn't have really spoke.
Jey Uso.
No, I didn't hit. No, Jay was fine. I mean, Jay was hammered after he won the title, and rightfully so.
He was shit-faced.
Rightfully so. No, I'm talking about the people who should have better media training didn't have great media training during WrestleMania week. Like,
yeah. Triple H should have called an audible, be like, okay, Jay, just don't, just send Jimmy out and just pretend it's Jay, unless he was also shit-faced.
I mean, I was talking about Trips himself. Trips had not that great of a media week.
He's probably exhausted, man.
No, oh, you didn't hear him? We're going to talk about the show. You didn't hear him say he did an interview with Rosenberg for WWE's thing, and Triple H was like, "Oh, he literally told people, don't be a critic, just be a fan."
Oh, I did. I heard of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I get it. I think he's right.
His delivery was wrong, though. He's like, like as a fan, you're supposed to. That's what we do. We critique.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. What fan doesn't critique?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like Trips. Booby comes with the territory.
Yeah, like you know this for this long, which is really funny because remember for a longest time, him and Stephanie, like the company line was like, oh, the reason we're so good is because we listen to our fans. Like the fans dictate where the show goes, and now Trip is like, don't stop telling us what to do.
How about you shut the fuck up?
And then WrestleMania weekend's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're coming out with a new show where we're gonna take you totally behind the scenes and tell you everything we're doing.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, cool, but like,
no, like he went on a whole rant about like people know too much now about wrestling, and now you're gonna come up with a documentary showing us how much we know. Kay's here.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I just can't see you.
Teams is fucking garbage.
What?
It took me 10 minutes to get in here.
You look fabulous though.
Thank you. I'm freshly cleaned.
Hate the hat though, but it's fine.
Kay's rocking the hat. First place in MLB. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are the champions of April. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're on right now. So
And you guys are
the Mets are on the big screen.
Oh, nothing.
I have my dinner because I'm fucking starving.
It's all right. I
And
understand.
I'm here.
Yeah. Told you we could have waited it out for you a little bit.
Literally, I'm so mad. I've been cranky today anyway,
Uh-huh.
and I came back from the walk, and fucking Frank's tank is covered in shit. Liquid diarrhea.
What did you feed him?
Ugh.
Her normal
Or her,
today
sorry.
she gets kale every day with calcium powder for her vegetables.
That's just gonna make it
And
run.
she-
I've had kale like that. I just
Yeah, but-
all the way through.
She loves kale, but she had a fuck ton of roaches today. That's her main source of protein. Dubia roaches are her favorite. So she had a bunch of roaches,
Uh-huh.
but not enough salad. So I don't really know what happened, but everything is covered in
I
poop.
feel like roaches would have just stopped. Would have just like had a little bit of an impaction there, but
That's what I thought too, but I think she likes having strawberries as a snack,
uh-huh.
and she had some the other day. She
Ooh.
fucking loves strawberries. She loves mango. She's a tropical bitch.
Love that
She
for
really
her.
Do you
is,
feed her
like-
water with like a little umbrella in it?
I fucking wish. She does have. I have these little bowls I got for her that honestly I bought the wrong size because I didn't read the Amazon description.
Yeah.
So they're like tiny. They're like this big. They're meant for like gerbils. So I put like little blueberries in it or like cut up fruit
Mhm.
that she can eat. So she has her own little special fruit plate.
Okay.
But I think she needs less hydrating food. And she's shedding right now, so it's just a mess.
Wait, Will, you didn't tell me the Yankees were playing in Yankee Stadium South.
Yeah,
What
they're
does that
Baltimore.
mean?
Yankee
It's
Stadium
Balt-
too.
Yankee Stadium South, aka the house that Jeter built.
Wait, why are there two Yankee stadiums?
There's not. We're
There's
talking about
not.
where
He's
the
making a
Orioles
joke.
play.
What?
The Baltimore Orioles, because we shit on them so much.
Oh.
So as someone who went to school in Baltimore County, we would say hi, Taquan. We would call Camden Yards Yankee Stadium South because usually more Yankees fans showed up than Baltimore fans. Because
Oh, that makes sense.
well, yes, because it's dirt cheap down there. Like they used to have $5 Fridays. Well, could you imagine if Yankee Stadium had $5 Fridays for students?
City Field does $5 Tuesdays for like concessions and shit.
It's also Tuesday. I get that.
Yeah, dude, for the Blue Jays game, I'm hopefully going to its dollar hot dogs. So I might do the 9 dogs, 9 beer challenge
Oh,
in 9 innings.
One in inning.
No, that's terrible. That's a terrible
It's
idea.
a horrible idea.
I have worked the next day, so
Better hope for long innings.
no, the pitch clock is gonna be a death of me, dude.
That's true. But like, isn't your place walking distance from the Rogers Center or the Skydome?
Yeah, I think it's like right down the street.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Yeah, the hotel. So it was staying at the Toronto Marriott on
I-
Blue Jays
Blue
Way
Jays
or
way.
whatever.
Yeah, you're literally. I know where you're at. Yeah. You'll be fine.
So it's like,
And Will's internet's going to go in and out. Okay, so it might be just me and you from time to time. Although he does
Why?
give his internet's
Is
bad.
he in Toronto right now?
No, he's
Oh.
not in Toronto.
no, I'm home.
Mm.
This
Oh,
might
he needs it.
optimum.
Exactly, optimum. That's all you need to know.
You know, shit's bad when my internet is better.
I'm about to say it's about to be a me and you show for a lot of it. Okay, I hope you're ready.
Mhm. Yeah, I watched Raw. I watched SmackDown.
Yeah, we're gonna recap a lot of the stuff.
You,
What?
I can hear you just
Oh,
fine. You
yeah,
guys can't
we
hear me.
can't.
You might have to just be like an inanimate Skype-like thing for a day. I don't know. Your video might be screwing up your speed.
No, that's not how video works. That's not how that works. It's
Yeah.
just straight internet speed from the router. I
Yeah.
just gotta turn off Wi-Fi on as many devices as I can.
That'll also do it.
So it takes up bandwidth.
Yep, that is true. And you're not hardwired in, are you?
I am hardwired in. The problem is, so this would be speed. And that's the problem. So my upload speed caps at 35 because I don't have fiber.
Oh, there it is.
And I'm getting I usually need at least 25 to stream without issues.
Mhm.
Right now I'm getting 3.6.
Oh, beefy.
Yeah. And it fluctuates. So sometimes it'll be 30, sometimes it'll be 15, and now it's 3.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna keep an eye on it.
Yeah. Do what you gotta do. All right. So with that being said, are we ready to go? Kay, are you ready? Are you? Oh yeah, you are. Okay.
I'm still eating, but I will be eating while we do the show.
That's fine. I can work from there. Yeah. Okay. All right, folks. We're gonna get this show on the road. Should be a fun time. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Kings of the rings of the illest. Kings of the rings of the illest. Live from the Wrestle Addict Radio HQ, representing Kings of the Rings to the fullest. King Ricky made the hot tag to Willie T, and out of nowhere like Randy is the Queen Bee. K-Fay brother, 400 plus in the bag like money in the bank brother. See when they pod, it's the opposite of common. Look at the comments. Crowned at a certified top 10. You heard? Kings of the Rings pod. Throw up a too sweet when you see the squad. Like a chop in a, I know you feel it. Kings of the Rings of the illest. Kings of the Rings of the illest. Kings of the Rings of the illest.
Oh man! All right, so we finally recovered after getting kicked in the nuts all of WrestleMania weekend, and we are finally back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 405. Surprisingly, I feel like we should have more, but hey, life happens. I am your host, King Ricky Rose. Thank you guys for joining us. Like, share, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review at KOTR_podcast. The link to all of our stuff are in the description below. We are going to talk about all of the fallout from WrestleMania, WrestleMania itself, and who should and should not potentially have a microphone at the most important times of the year. We're looking at you, Dwayne Johnson. With me, as always, a man with a plan who's still wearing his John Cena heel headband, probably the biggest heel, bigger than John Cena at the moment. Will Tarashak, how are you?
Dude, every show moving forward, I'm wearing this thing. It's the best gift a guy could have asked for his 30th
It's only because we couldn't find it.
Things you buy for an 8-year-old.
It's only because we couldn't get the t-shirt. I almost bought you a kid-sized John Cena Canada t-shirt. Almost.
Oh my god!
You could have
I don't even know what I would do with it. To be honest, I have no idea. It wouldn't fit.
You could have made a
I'm almost
crop
200
top,
pounds
Will.
now. Christ!
Oh, crop top would have been good.
Guys, I can almost qualify for 205 live. Isn't that great?
Crop top would have been great for you, actually.
More men need to wear crop tops. I'm
Jesus.
just saying.
Absolutely. I'd wear a fanny pack before a crop top.
Fanny packs fuck. They're so good.
Kayfabe, Legion K. How are you?
Hello.
Love it.
I'm here. I'm doing some shrooms, but not the drug kind.
I was gonna say, we're about
Edible
to have a fun. We're about to have a fun cast tonight, aren't we?
That's
The dinner kind.
the dinner kind of shrooms. I've never done shrooms actually. It's on my list of things to do.
Really, you've
but
never done
not
shrooms?
yet.
They're overrated. They're overrated in
I'm
my
very
opinion.
surprised that you've never done shrooms, Kay. It's not that I think you're a drug
It
or
just,
anything.
I've done a bunch of weird drugs. Shrooms just hasn't happened.
I feel like shrooms would have been high on your list of things to have done in your youth.
Nah, I smoked crack before I did shrooms, so.
Oh, okay, Ashley Larry. All right. Whoa. All right.
I've lived a lot.
Started
Yeah.
out with a bang. You must have booked the WrestleMania finish tonight too, then. Jesus Christ.
Guilty.
So we are going to talk about WrestleMania and stuff, and everything that happened that weekend or didn't happen that weekend, and all of the leaked audio from the roast of WrestleMania. And God,
I what?
Yeah.
God.
It's a good thing they didn't televise that because Nia Jax got roasted.
It's fine. She's still back on TV and works out. She actually, I listened.
Hey, she's a great
Yeah,
talent.
I listened to her roast. I found the audio of her, like when her segment, and she was actually not bad. As far as roasting goes, but that's just me. Anywho, a lot of news and stuff happened outside of the ring during WrestleMania week. Initially, AEW said, hey, we're going to do a Grand Slam event again, this time not in Australia, but this time in Mexico with CMLL, a Dynamite Grand Slam, because for some reason they haven't figured out that Grand Slam should actually probably be a legitimate pay-per-view instead of these weird specialty shows for TV. But here we are yet again.
Justice for Queens.
It was supposed to be just for Queens. But
No, it's a Justice for Queens.
Well, yes, Justice for Queens, yeah. But this is the AEW brand. That's what they do. They're partnering with CMLL, and that should be a little bit weird for you because, like, why aren't they partnering with CMLL? Shouldn't they be partnering with AAA like they were before? Until
was AAA not available? What happened?
well, until Triple H, WWE, and WrestleMania Night 1 said, hold my beer, we're just gonna buy AAA. One of, if not the freaking longest, the oldest wrestling promotion in Mexico, I believe it is AAA, got bought out by WWE, officially announced during WrestleMania Night 1 pre-show, which broke the internet. I remember watching the pre-show, and I was like, oh, there's AAA there. I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And he was talking about how they're going to work together. I was like, oh, interesting. And then Michael Cole said, the acquisition of AAA. And I said, excuse me? What just happened? I'm still blown by it because I know I texted you almost immediately.
Yep.
And your only reaction
was... I saw it in the Discord. I saw it in the Discord too. My reaction was just, good Lord.
Yeah. This reminds me of what, you can correct me wrong, but this reminds me of what Vince Jr. did when he bought the territories in the United States.
I wasn't alive then, so I can't really speak to what the reaction was, but it is the closest thing we have to it. When's the last time WWE has bought any wrestling promotion? WCW? Or Evolve? I don't know, but okay. It's like major recognizable.
This is the biggest one. This is the biggest one since
big headlines.
This is the biggest one since WCW needs
like there are rumors they're going to buy TNA forever. There's rumors Vince is going to buy TNA, but AAA, this is big. This is huge. It's the most popular thing in wrestling. WWE has been looking for the next Rey Mysterio, for lack of a better term, major Mexican star luchador to kind of take over that market, because Rey Mysterio did huge numbers for WWE for decades. So they've been looking. They tried with Sin Cara. They tried with Kalisto. There was so many different stars to take over that master role. So this is going to slide in perfectly. I think Penta and Rey Fénix are two guys to really show, because they've wrestled the American style more than obviously some of the people in AAA. And that's the biggest hurdle these guys are going to have to do. Triple H is like, I don't really want to change anything, but they're going to have to learn to wrestle a more American style for an American audience and American television. That's what they're going to do. So
I don't know exactly how much there's going to be an integration with AAA on the main roster, if he's going to keep it which is a very territorial thing to do. Triple H for the longest time, for years at this point, especially when he was running NXT, still wanted to have like NXT hub sites or satellite sites, like in NXT UK.
Yeah, I was going to say, Triple H has been talking about this for years, this plan, making it a global entity in a company. So this is just this really shouldn't surprise anybody.
Triple H is just waiting his time, and now he has the resources to do it. So this is going to be the first of many. Like NXT Europe apparently is still in the works. Like NXT Europe is going to be a thing. Instead of UK, it's going to be NXT Europe. But Kay, when you heard this, I think I went bonkers in our group chat with Mance. What did you think?
You popped off. I think my initial thought to the acquisition was, is Del Rio fired yet?
That's also a big question.
He's a champion, right?
He is the AAA champion.
He is the champion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that having more eyes on the product is always a good thing. I'm just concerned that this could be WWE just kind of like poaching as much as they can.
Oh, they definitely are.
So AEW doesn't get to it.
Yeah.
only
Vikingo, who was making huge news in AEW, now can't go back there.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Can't go back there at all. And not only did they announce that, hey, we're buying AAA, as they're like, hey, by the way, we're going to do Worlds Collide, you know, the original Forbidden Door, the thing that's been going on that WCW started 30 years ago. There's a
They would do the New Japan shows.
Yep. So Worlds Collide is a thing that has happened before with AAA and WCW. It is going to be AAA promotion and NXT Worlds Collide event Saturday, June 7th at 11:30 Pacific time, which will be 2:30 3 o'clock on the East time, and that's only the first event WWE's putting on that day in Los Angeles, because then after that, right down the road, Money in the Bank's coming as well. Yeah.
I know
It's so
we're gonna talk about poor media over WrestleMania, but I want to give a shout out to some good media. That's when Triple H comes out there and puts over the city super hard. He's like, Vegas has been a great host, great partners to give everything we want. It was incredible. LA, phenomenal. And then Staples Center, it's amazing. Like Triple H does a really good job of putting over the cities they visit. That it's just good business, and it's just entice others to do this. Like this is all in LA. Dude, like the amount of money they bring in when doing these events, it's fucking bonkers, dude. As a shareholder,
it's a brilliant move. Yeah, it's a brilliant move because there's a big Hispanic and Latino population in Los Angeles. So to have AAA there with NXT, which again, if there's any place I want to be, if I'm like an up-and-coming wrestler, I probably at this point want to get signed to NXT, because look how much exposure they're getting. We're going to get exposed to AAA. They're getting exposed to TNA. Like Trick Williams showed up at TNA Rebellion. We might get Trick Williams versus Joe Hendry for a TNA championship.
Yeah, they're going to be everywhere. Yeah. Which is good, right? NXT is just like, I actually like what AEW wanted to do. Let's just do that, but with resources, and just way better.
Yeah, with resources.
No, literally.
Like
NXT feels less like a developmental brand right now than it has in the past.
To revamp itself after the disaster that was 0.0.
Yeah.
Like they really transitioned to Sean. He needed a few years of growing pains to establish new stars, get used to things, get in a proper building. Yeah. But in the past 2 years specifically, they really have revamped themselves to say, no. NXT is 100% worth watching again.
Yeah, and I don't know if any of you guys watched Stand and Deliver, but I love Stand and Deliver this year. I thought it was really good.
I saw the second half of it, and what I saw ruled.
Yeah. The men's triple threat for a championship was great. The fatal four-way for the women's title was really freaking good. And Worlds Collide is just going to be absolutely bonkers. Like, they're having it at the Kia Forum, which is the old Los Angeles Forum where the Lakers used to play. And then down the street is literally the Intuit Dome. So you can physically do both in the same day if you're going to be in LA. In two different arenas in walking distance from each other, because it's all essentially in Compton, downtown LA area. So June 7th is going to be a really busy week, really busy day for all of us wrestling marks.
Dude, I seriously hope El Grande Americano shows up at Worlds Collide.
I bet you he is.
They just boo him out of. They might throw trash at him, legitimately. Just boo him out of the fucking building.
You know what? He might be demasked at AAA at Worlds Collide.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
I think that would be perfect, which makes sense why he was. They did the angle with him and the guy you mentioned earlier at WrestleMania.
Oh, Vikingo, yeah.
Vikingo, yeah. So they already teased it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a fucking squash match. They're to their top guy, one of their top guys. Fucking dude, incredible.
Yeah, it is a crazy time for WWE to acquire AAA. Like, now That still blows my mind. That might be the biggest thing that happened. Actually, no, it wasn't. Because WWE said, hold our beer again. We're going to announce Survivor Series months early. We're doing it in California, and we're doing it in Petco Park,
San Diego,
the home of the San Diego Fathers, Padres, if for in another language as well. So yeah, this is a Survivor Series in an outdoor open-air baseball stadium in late November. They're pretty much banking on the fact that the Padres aren't going to make the playoffs, is what this tells me.
End of November. I mean, dude, honestly,
what's the Padres record right now?
They're good.
Damn it.
Dude, they're in first place. They have 19 wins, dude. They're right behind the Mets for best record in baseball. Like, dude, the Padres are really good this year.
This is going to be really interesting if the Padres are like a contender in the National League.
No, dude, baseball never goes this deep, though. Baseball doesn't go to November 29th.
You never know.
Baseball goes into like the first week of November at the very latest.
So yes.
Wait,
that would be hilarious. That would be so hilarious.
Wait, let me look up when the World Series in, because if the World Series is on my wedding, I'm so sorry.
Listen,
it might be. It might be October. Late October.
It could happen.
It's honestly, it's a Friday, right, Kay?
Mm-hmm.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed.
All right. So if the Mets are in the World Series on our wedding day, you best fucking believe we will be finding a way to stream the game at the wedding.
Yeah, we're gonna be in Astoria, Kay. Like,
yeah.
It won't be that hard.
Meant to be.
It wouldn't.
Oh, it's gonna be fucking busy.
Yeah.
God damn, it's gonna be it's gonna be impossible to get out of there.
Yeah, absolutely horrendous. But yeah, a Survivor Series in an open air baseball stadium. Yeah, it is.
It's that weekend.
Yep, there it is. Let's hope the Mets don't actually make the World Series.
I'm not worried with the Mets. All right, Ricky and I have to watch the Yankees somewhere.
Exactly.
When my parents got married, they got married during the NFL draft. So
that's fine. No one watches the NFL
all
draft.
of them apparently had radios out listening to the draft to find out what was going on with the Jets.
The draft is one of the biggest nothing sporting events in the world.
Dude, yes. I mean, and also, quick sideberg. Dude, my parents were at a wedding during the 1986 Buckner game. So
really?
in Boston.
No way.
And like all the guys are trying to sneak off to the bar to watch the game, and all the women were like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? This is a wedding!" Like dragging them into the dance floor, but like, but the game series.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I was just like, that's incredible, because now we're all sitting at a table on the phones going, fuck yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a big event because WWE has done open air football stadiums for SummerSlam, WrestleMania. We haven't done an open air baseball stadium, although you can count Elimination Chamber, although the roof was closed in the Sky Dome. But for a big four like this is a big deal. Like how do they set up the War Games cage for this?
War Games, dude, imagine this. You're fucking sitting there, nosebleeds, and you're so excited for War Games, and there's just a fucking glare off the cage. It's going to be in a day.
It's so shiny.
It's so shiny, and you can't see fucking anything.
I don't think they'll be bad. I think their lighting will be great for that, but it's going to be an interesting configuration for this. I have two thoughts on this. Part of me loves it because it's good for business. It's great seeing the big shows. But on the flip side is, it took a while for me watching WrestleMania to have that WrestleMania feeling. Yeah. Because the set in not really the set of the stage, but the atmosphere in the way everything looked, there wasn't enough of a differentiator between that and SummerSlam. That's in a stadium. Right. The difference is the stage setup, which I think is the
big difference. Was the stage, and SummerSlam's the ramp. The walkway, which is great, and the stage looked phenomenal. Yeah, but it was just maybe because it was also I don't like day wrestling because the lighting of the show and the crowd is part of it, which made the main event just look way better. Yeah, especially night one, just because it was just like it set the lighting set the setting more, and just. I don't know.
It's the same thing that happened with when they were in LA like 2 years ago.
LA for 31.
Yeah, the main event matches, like the matches at night, look so much better than the matches during the day.
Yeah, it just doesn't. Wrestling needs to be in the dark.
It's a very big West Coast thing that they always have to deal with.
I don't like daytime wrestling. I don't like it.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Survivor Series is happening. It's Big Four. There's a lot of announcements. So far on the calendar for post WrestleMania, you have Backlash, obviously, which we're going to talk about a lot next week. It's going to be the preview show because Backlash hopped up real quick. You got Backlash. You have Worlds Collide, Money in the Bank. You have also before that, like the weekend before, Saturday night's main event, Battleground in Tampa as well. That's a big weekend for WWE and NXT. You have Clash in Paris. You have SummerSlam.
Yep. Aren't they doing a show in Mexico too? Or is that Worlds? Worlds Collide is LA?
Worlds Collide is LA.
I thought there was a show pay-per-view in Mexico.
I believe there's something that's going on in Mexico. They have an unannounced event for Australia again in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is big globe. I'm really concerned about SummerSlam tickets, to be completely honest with you at this point.
They're gonna be expensive,
what do you mean, like in terms of price? Yeah, they're gonna be expensive, dude. We're in New York.
$40,000 for fucking hard cam ringside is insane.
Yeah, did you hear about that?
That's how much they spent. 40.
It's the on location package, so you get with this $40,000 for you get 2 nights, you get tickets to 2 nights of SummerSlam, also the SmackDown before and the Raw after.
This is for SummerSlam.
Yes, SummerSlam.
$40,000.
But
that is more than what my wedding is going to cost.
Are you sure?
Yes. Yes.
That's more than a lot of weddings cost, to be
No.
fair.
Okay.
$40,000.
All right, hold on.
40
I will
grand.
bring
40 grand is 40 grand. I feel for like a New York, New Jersey wedding is on the low end.
Oh my god.
I will tell you exactly. Also, Corey Graves and Carmella are pregnant again.
Good for them.
That's
Good for you,
so
Carmella.
great.
Yeah.
Then don't be complaining that you don't have a job.
Well, he's gonna need a job now.
No, I meant Carmella, because she was like, because she was able to come back, and
Well,
there was just drama. There was drama around that.
Yeah, she. I think she got hosed.
Yeah, I thought they like released her like unexpectedly or something.
Yeah.
No, she's still on the roster. I
No,
believe.
she's off. She's in the alumni.
No, she's
section.
released.
They released
Yeah,
her.
she's released.
Mhm.
Released. She's done.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she was released. Where I saw the ticket details. Okay, here we go. So this is the on location, their premium servicing. So they're on location. The elite package, the elite plus package, includes front row center TV side. So think like green shirt guy for SummerSlam, which includes a photo op in the ring of SummerSlam, a private transportation to the events. Okay.
From where?
I don't know. Elite walk. I don't know.
Is there a hotel bundled in with this?
I do not believe so. I'll have to double check the on location
That's
site.
fucking crazy.
Private transportation, elite welcome event, a private section at an all-inclusive pre-show hospitality with superstar appearances by Kevin Nash and more, post-show press conference access, and a desk photo op. Okay. Tickets to both nights of SummerSlam and tickets to SmackDown prior to SummerSlam and the Raw after SummerSlam. $40,000 for the whole package.
Not worth
Okay,
it.
that's still a lot of money. But if I had fuck you money and money didn't matter, I'd spend it.
I want to be involved. If I had $40,000 to spend and did that, the only thing I would also ask is I want to be a part of the main event storyline. Like let me take a bump. Let me announce like what the stipulation is or something. Like if I'm dropping $40,000, I need my money's worth.
They tell you no.
I know, but like, I want to be a special enforcer.
If I paid 40 grand to go to SummerSlam, I would need obviously all the ringside, the transportation. You would need to pay for my hotel. Boris would have to be allowed to come. I would want merch to be included. Like that's a lot of money.
Oh, and also I want to be on camera every time you saw a celebrity. Every single time. I'm just
what's
I'm
your lower third nameplate?
I don't need a name card. I don't need a nameplate. I just need to be seen. Like I need to be sitting next to them and I'm just there. Just, hey, waving. Like
next to every
single one. So people at home are like, is that
Will
again? Why this guy again? What?
I would also need my own interview, my own like pre-main event interview. Like I want Joe to
I want Kathy Kelly to interview me.
Kings of the Ring should be put in the fucking mat as a sponsor.
No, you got to pay millions for that.
Yeah,
Kay.
yeah.
You know how much
Yeah.
money they have to pay for
Yeah,
that?
nah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
But
zillions
yeah,
of
no,
dollars.
that $40,000 is a lot of money, and I would never pay it unless I didn't miss less money didn't matter. Like that. Yeah, think who are those tickets for? Those
Green shirt
tickets
guy, apparently.
are
Rich people.
yeah, or rich people's friends. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like some CEO somewhere has a nephew or a friend who loves wrestling. He's like, yeah, just
go.
here's 40 grand, go.
Yeah, they'll take care of everything. So yeah, that's what SummerSlam is looking like. But let's go back a couple weeks ago to obviously WrestleMania. We're gonna break this down in the major highlights, the major big of things that happened. We're gonna go into a lot of detail about that. But overall, thoughts on WrestleMania for me in particular, it really was a meh in Mania. Especially with the ending. There were some things that were really cool. There were some things that probably should have had a better build. There were some things that should have never been on the freaking card. I'm looking at you, New Day and War Raiders.
Damn.
I'm serious.
Shots fired against you, but you love the New Day, dude.
So, all right. So here's the thing with the New Day
This
and
is
the War Raiders.
gross.
Here's the thing with the New Day and the War Raiders. If it was, they never talked about the New Day breaking the tag team title record until after they won.
Ooh.
They were like, "Oh,
That's a problem.
That's a problem."
Yeah.
Oh.
It should have been a huge story of them going for the tag titles and then breaking the record, at WrestleMania. But it was an afterthought to a very dusty finish of a match.
I mean, hey Ricky, something had to follow that triple threat. That triple threat was fucking wild.
That's very true. That's very true.
I mean,
yeah.
like someone had to fill that spot.
Yeah.
And a TV match.
It's a good
because that's what they wrestled. They wrestled a TV match.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
that SmackDown ladder match on Friday could have been that spot.
Yes, we're going to talk about
it
that.
It would have, but that's a kill shot spot. But you need. I get your reasoning, Kay, but you also need something to sell that Friday. You need to sell tickets for that Friday to give people a reason to go.
Yeah.
And a ladder match, fuck it, I'll go. It's a ladder match.
It was not even a ladder, it was a TLC match. Holy crap.
TLC match, even better.
Yeah.
But Ricky, it's even to your point, building into my point, this WrestleMania, when it was high, it was all the way up there. It was excellent, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
When it was low,
it was
really dog shit. And those things in the middle did bridge those gaps, but it was a very bipolar WrestleMania, which averages out to
it was WrestleMania. It happened.
Yeah, it was so uneven.
Especially when you're comparing it to last year.
Yeah, last year was so high.
It's also not fair because it just gets some bias of, okay, but last year was arguably the greatest one of all time.
Correct.
So it's like it was always going to be a meh no matter what they did. Hulk Hogan could have gotten kicked in the nuts by Paul Heyman and people still would have been like, yeah.
That's very true.
Like Hulk Hogan could have come out, helped Cena win, and then Cena gives him the FU, and then he calls it the FU, and people still would have been like, yeah,
it happened. K-Fabe, Slage and K, what are your thoughts on WrestleMania as a whole?
Honestly, the best part of Mania was the party I threw. Just saying.
Fuck yeah. I'm sorry I wasn't there.
It's okay. Easter happened.
Well, I know you don't know because you were in the group chat with me, Kay, and Mance. So the highlight of WrestleMania was Joe Hendry.
Yeah, Joe Hendry.
Was amazing.
You know why? Because I was like, fucking Mance. When I watched it, I was like, God damn. I thought immediately of Mance.
Mance immediately texts, he goes, called it. Kay responds and says, I threw my plate as an instant reaction.
So Liv made, Teeny's mac and cheese?
What is it?
Do you know Teeny from TikTok?
I do not know Teeny.
She's a chef.
I do not know Teeny.
So there's this mac and cheese recipe that's fucking banger.
Yeah.
Liv made it for Mania. Mm-hmm. So she just served the mac and cheese, loaded my plate, we're on the couch. Joe Hendry comes in. I get so excited, I fucking throw the plate of macaroni all over the carpet.
Wait, did you baseball, football or baseball, throw it?
Yeah. It was like a...
You mic drop mac and cheese.
All over the carpet.
Oh
we had to grab Boris because there was mad cayenne and shit in the mac and cheese. So Boris would have been so sick.
Oh my god!
You literally dropped mac and cheese like it was hot. Good job. Okay.
But Joe Hendry, honestly, like for me, like was one of the saving graces of the WrestleMania weekend.
Joe Hendry was arguably the markiest and most wrestling moment of all WrestleMania.
At our party, so it was a majority of the people there. It was a small thing. We all watch wrestling except for my one friend who comes for WrestleMania, and that's kind of it. So they have like a very like they know who Jey Uso is because of last year. Like they know who CM Punk is because of me. Like
Yeah.
they have a very like limited understanding, but they were like so into it. Like I'm like Raw's on Netflix if you want to get into it. Like I have other friends that like don't watch wrestling that like I think Rhea Ripley's a big part of it, but like I feel like this WrestleMania season I'm hearing from a lot of people that don't watch wrestling that are interested in the product. So
Marketing's
WrestleMania
working.
was still low key kind of shit, but people are still like really into it.
Yeah.
Like you said, like you always say, like Mania's not for us.
No.
It is for the casual fans. So like all of my friends that don't watch are like, wow, this is so fucking cool. Whereas we've been watching our whole lives, we're like, wow, that Mania fucking sucks. Like the duality is really interesting to me. I agree, it was WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the worst WrestleMania of all time. People are being low-key fucking dramatic when they're like, it's the worst WrestleMania.
Listen, Snooki wrestled out of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I can tell you about that.
That's my girl. That's my girl. I stand behind that.
Liz.
I would have that again.
It's possible. I will say this.
Like, if you put the main event for night one on the
card
card of night two,
amazing, so much better.
It would have been the best WrestleMania of the 20 teams, like easily. When it was just one night for everything. I think this WrestleMania cards between night 1 and 2 was not balanced.
Usually, when they've done two nights, we're like night 1's amazing, and we're like night 2's kind of crap.
Night 1 sucked.
Night 1 wasn't great.
Like, up until the main event, the opener was bookended.
Yeah,
the
absolutely
opener
bookended.
was really good. People hated it, but I think they're wrong. We're gonna get into why, but like it was bookended, and then the ending obviously was just
masterpiece theater. Yeah,
11 out of 10, and then everything in the middle was just like, okay, we're slowly building to that, but the build was just, I don't even remember what was on the card. I really don't.
I will
it was 2 weeks ago.
From both nights, while the card was really imbalanced, I felt like the pacing was really good, and I didn't feel like anything dragged in particular. Like
you're right on that end. Yeah,
the pacing was
very valid.
Pacing was very good, but I would have mismatched most of those cards.
I agree.
And put them on different nights.
I agree, and like it's one of those things I think we've talked about in previous years that if you're going to do 2 nights, you got to have a story for all 2 nights. And that didn't always happen. By the way, hi, Mance. Yes, you were right. You were the highlight of the weekend. A lot of it with your predictions.
Yeah, dude, for real. I popped so hard. I was singing a song. I believe in Joe Hendry. My mom. Jazz was like, "Who's this?" And I was like, "It's too much to explain."
So we all know that Sir Charles is a giant Joe Hendry mark, right?
Yes.
I did not.
He's a giant. He tells he has Google Home devices, Google Home speakers, and he constantly tells it to play "I Believe in Joe Hendry" all the time. So apparently, because it was a big weekend for Sir Charles, obviously, as we all know. And at one point,
congrats, buddy.
Congratulations.
At one point, he was asked to go out and get some food or something, and he got back into his house as soon as Joe Hendry's music hit.
Wow, the divine timing.
Happy. Like, people don't understand. Joe Hendry got a T-shirt for his WrestleMania appearance, which apparently was 2 weeks in the making.
Yeah, let's see how much that is. Let's see how much merch this guy can sell. Do we have money with this, or is this just an internet fad?
I don't know. I know that Randy.
That's to be determined because Joe Hendry is like. He's like almost in a different, same style, different format. He is WWE's Orange Cassidy.
Kinda, but with more, more charisma.
Right.
They're real
there's no more to it, but they're like, what's this guy's gimmick? He's just fucking ridiculous, and people love it. You know what I mean? Like he's a living, breathing internet meme.
Mm-hmm. And he's great.
But can that sell on a stage as big as WWE?
He got one of the pops of the weekend. I'll tell
He
you
did,
that.
but
Oh, yeah.
I still think that's up in the air right now.
Yeah.
In my
I will
opinion.
say, it seems
But
like he got the
they're
approval
giving him
from
a
Randy.
chance. Yeah,
It seems like he
giving him a
got the
chance.
approval from Randy. If you saw Randy's face, he was like, "Oh, this
That
is
fucking
nice."
turn was so
Oh, when he
funny.
did
Apparently,
Joe- he did the turn.
he chose Joe Hendry. It was Randy's pick, if you believe the dirt
he
sheets.
did.
Oh,
Yeah, because Randy
nice.
was like, what Triple H's reasoning from the presser was good too. He's like, listen, we needed we had a very serious storyline with Kevin. Like it was gonna be a blood feud, and everyone was so piped and humped and piped and ready for that, you know.
Yeah.
And then he was like, once that didn't happen, we needed something the exact opposite because it wasn't going to meet up to those expectations. And Joe Hendry is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And it worked. I mean, in hindsight, yeah, everyone wanted to surprise Aleister Black and Rusev, but
Which we got.
we ended up getting anyway. But I think
Yeah.
this was a better spot for the momentum and pacing of the show.
It was a great
Agree.
like relief for
Yeah,
everybody.
it was a bathroom break, but it was also if you're at home, you know, just sit back and relax, take a breath.
It was funny. I thought for a second that the surprise entry was going to be Kevin Owens, and that would have been the funniest thing ever.
God,
I thought that for a second too.
that would have been wild, but really dumb.
Yeah, because he's legitimately
Kevin
hurt.
Steen.
Would have been Kevin
Kevin
Steen. Would have been great. I mean, they also had to do another audible, which is the like Rey Mysterio screwed up his knee the night before, and they were like, Rey Fenix, have at it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's wild. You had the Lucha Bros, who are combined maybe 4 months into WWE, both getting WrestleMania matches.
A prominent
Crazy.
WrestleMania match too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they were both put in really big spots, and both of them delivered. You know, Rey Fenix had less than 24 hours to prepare for the biggest match of his life against somebody he's probably never met before. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
Kudos.
crazy.
very impressive.
Very
Kudos to
impressive.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Great acquisition. So let's
Great
move on.
entrance, El Grande Americano's entrance.
Oh my fucking god.
Wow.
Oh my god, it was also so
Wow.
funny.
Dude, this gimmick is working. It's the perfect amount of stupid.
It's perfect amount of just marky ridiculousness.
I love the shirt he was wearing on Raw yesterday.
They're
that
selling
said
it.
El Grande Americano is
Numero
El
uno.
Numero Uno.
Yeah.
Not S, is.
Is.
I love the English thrown in there.
Is.
Yeah.
And then Michael
Oh, did we lose Will? We lost Will. He's gonna say something about
I
Michael.
will.
He'll be back. It's really surprising having Will be the one with the bad internet this time around.
It's so nice. It's
Yeah.
really refreshing to see. Speaking of Michael Cole, this WrestleMania really was for my fiance because her three favorite people in wrestling are Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Michael Cole.
Yeah, so we're gonna get to that in a second, but let's first get to the kick in the nuts finish that was the night two main event. So let's recap the journey that got us to the night two main event. It was March 1st, Elimination Chamber, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, in the Skydome, because I'm not calling it the Rogers Center. What do you think I fucking am? And we had what was arguably the greatest heel turn in the history of modern pro wrestling. John
I
Cena
would agree.
making children cry. Cody Rhodes telling The Rock to go F himself, which Cody was right after all of this has come down. John Cena turned heel, making children cry. You had this build. John's going to ruin wrestling. He's going to be the last real champion of professional wrestling. And god damn it, he was right. He did ruin wrestling by that god awful finish to WrestleMania Night 2, which in character kayfabe wise, he said what he was going to do. But as hyped of a main event that this was supposed to be, Rock doesn't show up. Rock then goes on Pat McAfee the next day talking about why he didn't show up, saying, I wasn't needed. You dumbass, you started the angle. You started the angle, and you were like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm not needed.
Yeah, dude. His whole story of I want to take a step back and give them the
such a
spotlight. It's like,
cop-out.
dude, you're already
Spotlight.
in
You made
the
yourself the spotlight.
He
Yeah.
literally
You were
put
there.
himself in everyone's
Like you
business.
made yourself. You already made the story about you. Like, what do you mean it's not about me? You committed murder and be like, well, he was dead when I got here. What do you mean?
I was like, what are you doing, Jade? And like the biggest excuse, I don't know if you heard this. He said the reason that we did the angle at Elimination Chamber because Elimination Chamber ticket sales were bad. I can tell you from being there, they were not bad.
I'm like, didn't it sell out?
Yes.
Or close to it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it like the highest Canadian gate in the history of the WWE
Yes,
or something?
it was. It was.
Like, oh, the Mets scored again.
Okay,
Wow.
focus. It's April baseball. Relax. So
It's a great time.
Dude, I'm loving April baseball. I'm watching every game. It's great.
So The Rock has this whole thing about I'm gonna start this angle. You know, I think he was pissed, and there are rumors going around that there's a lot of tension. Coachman, Jonathan Coachman, has been like, "There's something going on with The Rock and Triple H." Like, yeah, we're 20 years in the making of them hating each other, but apparently now it's gone to a corporate level. But there could be some creative differences, and there's a theory of that because Cody didn't want to turn heel, which is like the original pitch, that they flipped to Cena because I think. The theory is Cody would turn heel so The Rock could be a babyface. Because The Rock might have a little bit of an ego issue.
A little bit?
Rock doesn't want to be heel anymore. Rock's like, yeah, it's not good for my brand calling people smelly bitches on live TV.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Or drug addicts.
Didn't he like say he's like last WrestleMania cycle, he went to a fan and said he's gonna slap the diabetes out of him or something like that?
Right, yeah, something.
It was
like
herpes. It was herpes, yeah,
or something like Yeah, it's not a good money making tool for him to be a jerk on television in front of millions of people, but it's fucking incredible. Like, but also we understand it's good television,
and
so I think it's just like, hey, I want to do it, but I can't keep doing it. Like, it made sense for the moment. It's time for me to be a face again.
Still bad. Like, you have to pay off the storyline to no-show the storyline you started and put Travis Scott in your place. And Travis Scott took a great bump. Good seller. But he was not what was needed for that moment.
Or what was wanted.
There was no need for a run-in, period. The night before had the run-ins with Paul Heyman. Yeah. The match itself was pretty fine up until Travis Scott came out and took 8 minutes to walk down.
He took an
there.
Undertaker-style approach.
I think this would have been the time to walk out with the joint. You brought Travis Scott out on 420.
He probably was high. That's probably what took him as long as it did.
Trust me, by the end of WrestleMania, I was also walking real slow. I was out the day after.
And ironically, the match was good. I hate to say it, John Cena actually does wrestle really well as a heel comparatively to him as a face. I was like, wow, you're kind of interesting now.
Him doing the 5-knuckle shuffle.
I really enjoyed watching him wrestle.
Yeah, I
it was just
totally
everything else that stuff.
Sold on the fact that now, what is it? The nut shot and then the title to the face are now the 7th and 8th move of Doom. At this point.
It's diversifying his portfolio. I respect it.
God, he should have stayed at 5 because remember the 6th move of Doom, that freaking like Chinese
the
punch?
Chinese one, right?
Oh,
something like that. I was like, this is horrible. So there's that. John goes on as the last real champion. I will say this: the best thing about John Cena's heel turn right now is that they should have done it before Mania, but now that he's come out as champion with the Dolph Ziggler belt on his ass and just John Cena in the most generic Microsoft Word print ever.
Oh my God. Yes.
I love that too.
Yes, this black screen, John Cena. Also, I did love John Cena walking up the ramp and he couldn't hide the smile, but it didn't matter because it was off air, even though it was still on air. But him just, he almost turned around and did a thank you to the crowd. He thought about it.
I think that's what also kind of sells it short for John Cena for me is that I don't think John Cena believes he's a heel. Like at times in his promos, I'm just like, I feel like you're playing heel.
It's still a split reaction. Yeah.
Like he's playing wrestler. He's not actually wrestling.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he's having fun.
He's trying, yeah.
I would rather him have fun with being a heel and not necessarily be convincing than not being convincing and not having fun with it. It's at least enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. All right. So Manson, our chat, has all the moves of Doom. Let's count it out. Shoulder block, side slam, 5-knuckle shuffle, AA, lightning punch, nut shot, belt shot. 8 moves of Doom now. Yes. Mm-hmm.
8 moves
John
of
Cena
doom.
special. That needs to be on a t-shirt, actually. See if
Yeah.
someone figures it out.
Yeah, it does.
So John Cena, to as little fanfare as possible. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, he might be going for the 17, and like you would expect more fanfare, and it just fell flat. Bless you. It just fell extremely flat. And now, bless you again, Kay. And
Thank you.
we know now that John Cena has, as of since SmackDown, 25 appearances left.
I don't like that. I don't like that I know.
Because he's gonna ruin wrestling. That is his goal now, to ruin wrestling. You know what would be great if John Cena went to AEW and he's like, I'm going to ruin wrestling. I'm going to AEW.
That would be the ultimate heel thing to do.
And then John Cena just ends up being a sleeper agent and just ruins AEW for WWE. He's like, I'm a face all along. It's the Vince Russo. Man said, I need Cena to win a TNA title and beat Del Rio for a AAA Mega title. He's gonna go on John Cena's gonna go on a Kenny Omega run. Just win all the
I wouldn't be mad
he
about
loses
it.
all of them to Oba family.
I mean, John Cena going for the NXT championship would actually be kind of interesting. Like if he just go.
Hey man, Cena Randy has me interested enough. Don't get me too
We'll talk
excited.
about
Oh, I
about
can't
Cena
wait
Randy.
for Cena Randy.
Yeah, for one last. Although it is really weird to see them be reverse heel and face on SmackDown.
It's crazy.
When Randy
You
was
need to
like,
have
John,
kids."
think about your family. You need to have kids. And John's like, stop parent shaming me. I feel like they were both trying to make each other laugh.
They were laughing. They were low key. It was like watching a skit on SNL. They can't keep it together.
They were clearly like just trying to improv over each other. I've been raising kids for 25 years.
They've been having fun, and that's enjoyable for me. I don't give a fuck if they break
love
heads
Randy.
because they're clearly enjoying it.
Listen, old man reformed Randy is amazing. And I think what would make John Cena's heel turn better if John Cena was more like 09 Randy. I need 09 Randy and John Cena.
Yeah,
09
dude.
Randy.
09 Randy was vicious. He was a bastard.
Take me back.
I need.
And Triple H broke his collarbone.
At this point, I think it was on purpose. Moving on to the Upper World title that happened. Jey Uso, Just Me Us, finally beats Gunther because Gunther needed some time off of TV. And unfortunately, Logan Paul beat AJ Styles, as we all saw that coming, because it's AJ Styles, and what does AJ Styles do best? Make everybody else look better than what they're supposed to be. So now we have a potential collision course between Jey Uso and Logan Paul for the world title. This is Logan Paul's, second time going for a world title? In 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
This is probably going to be on Backlash. It might be the first time in a long time we've had the world title. That's not a WrestleMania. That we have the world title and a WWE Championship defended on the same card. I could be completely wrong on that. Someone will fact check me. But this is an interesting build. Like Logan Paul's saying he's more dedicated to WWE than ever. He has shown up a lot more. He's still too much of a douche, but that's what his character is. And Jay's really dedicated to this now. We'll see what this goes.
Yeah, I'm about it. I think this makes sense, especially because Logan's not going to win. They've done all of this work in the J, so it's the first card after Mania. It's like, oh, let's see some fun matchups, see what happens. But quick sideberg back to the match with Jey Uso and Gunther. I thought the match was great. I thought it was a really good match.
Absolutely.
Good way to kick off the show, and Jay made him tap.
Which there's only...
When's the last time
Ilya
you saw
Dragunov
Gunther
made him
tap?
Years ago.
Right, but other than that, that's it. That's it. Like, I will be... you will remember, Jey Uso's the last person to tap Gunther, because Gunther's not going to tap
Yeah, for
again
another
for
5 years. Yeah.
So, I thought they did even though Jey Uso doesn't have a submission
He
move,
used Gunther's sleeper.
but... Yeah, it was good to see a heel tap.
The one thing I would have said is I remember
Good.
the finish. I was like, Gunther, you could have held out that tap a little bit more, build up more suspense.
Yeah, it was real quick.
Yeah, he was like, I want to get out of here.
Bye. I'm over it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, no, but it was good to see Gunther tap.
Truly gagged.
It was good. It was good. Jay deserves it. He's, I think he's gonna have a fun run, especially as like the heart and soul of Raw. So I think it'll do wonders for him. And
Yeah.
Logan Paul continues to be everybody's least likable douche. So it works.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, great
Great
wrestler.
wrestler,
Huge
though.
dick.
Great
It's
wrestler. I
so-
hate him, but
yeah.
goddamn it, do I respect him.
Mhm.
I wouldn't go that far, but he can wrestle.
Yeah, he can wrestle. Just he exists, and that's sometimes a problem for a lot of people. Moving on to the return of Becky Hogan. Big time Beck Hogan showed up again, replacing Pam, aka Bailey, in the tag title match to win the titles in Vegas. When's the last time we heard that Becky returned in Vegas and won a title? Oh yeah, SummerSlam, when she squashed Bianca out of nowhere. History repeating itself, only to lose the tag titles the next night on Raw to solidify a heel turn that could have just easily happened on WrestleMania.
Literally. Do we think she has like in her contract about like not losing
Oh,
a
it's
certain
totally
amount or
a
at certain places?
so.
Is that a thing? Like, do people have that? People have that in their contracts, right?
I
I
doubt
think
it.
ever since
I doubt
Hogan
it.
had the infamous creative control thing, I doubt that's a big thing that they put in contracts anymore.
Mm,
In WWE side, AEW can't speak for.
yeah.
But it was one of those things where it was just like this could have been. We could have had Becky turn heel and not show up at Mania and give like Bailey and Lyra kind of a moment, and like it was just also like you add the fact that you took out Bailey for this. Like you took out Bailey for this, and then you had her Chris Van Vliet episode come out like after Mania, where Bailey is
so bad for her.
visibly like upset because she knew she's like by the time this comes out, like she was visibly upset that she knew that she was getting pulled from Mania for this, and also at the fact that Becky said I took me so long to come back because I was waiting for a good story, and apparently the beginning of that good story was kicking Bailey out of the story.
That's
Fuck
so
you,
fucking
Bailey.
disrespectful.
It is very Hogan WrestleMania 9 to Bret Hart. It's very Hogan WrestleMania 9 to Bret Hart, almost to a T.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
have two thoughts. One, Becky, we tried this already. We want to cheer you. Like, stop
I
trying to
like the
force us
big
to
time
boo
Becks,
you.
though.
We like the man. Like, we like the man character. We like, we don't need Stone Cold to reinvent
Fair.
himself. You know what I mean? Like, we like the man. We like the brash person you are as a face. Like, we want to cheer you. I'm sick of booing you. I'm sick of you wanting to be booed. Like, and two, I see why EO won because she's getting this title fucking immediately.
Yeah, Becky just like it was one of those things where like we could have done this in a completely different way and I would have been fine with it. Like Becky
I
had
agree.
Becky had a decent promo where she was like, Bailey's been beating me up for like 5 years now. What the hell, guys?
Yeah.
Got a point. Every heel has a point. and she's got one.
I kind of want to see Becky be the first Paul Heyman girl.
That's what I was thinking is going to happen too.
Because I was
Like,
like, oh, Seth's
turning her
heel,
back-
Becky's
Yeah.
heel. Can we get a little partnership going?
it makes sense.
It would. I mean, it's yet to be revealed because we know Becky is now challenging Lyra for the IC title, which is just one way that, lo and behold, guess what? Becky's gonna win. Just when Lyra's finally picking up steam. And I wonder how annoying those wings were to get off and put on at Mania.
Dude,
annoying.
she
I
looked
loved it though. I was
ridiculous.
like, this is
I mean, it fit her character and it was cool, but it's just like she's on the bird is on camera too much. Can we shift from the bird? Like if you took the wings off at like the entrance,
Yeah.
like at the ringside, it would be cooler.
my friend. I have a casual friend who's a big Becky Lynch fan. So I showed her the just Becky's entrance at Mania and like Lyra. And my friend was like, "So is she gonna wrestle in those wings?" And I'm gonna go, "No, no,
No.
Interesting, but no.
That'd be really funny though.
Interesting, but no. So Becky's going to go for the IC title, and Becky's probably going to win because, I mean, if John Cena's going to ruin wrestling, so is Becky Lynch going to ruin the IC title probably. Or make it more relevant because Lyra's just now catching her stride, and then it's just going to go right on Becky. So that's going to be interesting. That's just an early prediction. We'll talk more in depth before. But also, the shock and one of the shocking pops of the night, Dirty Dom is a face.
Called it.
I love being
That was
right.
great.
This proves the age-old statement of people do not know what they want until they get it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I don't know when the crowd
I don't
turned
remember
for Dom,
either.
but they turned for Dom.
Chicken Nugget King.
The Chicken Nugget King. Yeah. Did any of you watch a lot of Dom's interviews post winning the title? Yeah,
He's the
with
greatest
the
of all
big, he's
time.
like, how many times do you have the title? I've had it for 14 minutes. I'm already the best. Like, you're such an idiot. So Dom has the titles. Judgment Day has the tag titles. I don't know for how long because apparently Liv Morgan's going away to do a
Is she
really
in the-
big Hollywood movie that no one knows about yet, which is going to be revealed next week.
I heard a rumored
Whoa.
Doomsday.
No,
It's
she's the
next
one that's
week.
going to get the Marvel movie and not Seth Rollins, which would be
Oh,
hysterical.
I was listening to Cultaholic this morning. Apparently, it
Hey,
starts.
she earned it.
It starts shooting next week,
No, Doomsday's already been shooting.
or whatever they need her for. Starts shooting next week.
Watch it's just Liv Morgan as like a freaking just like an innocent bystander that gets like killed in like one shot, and that's her big show.
It'd be like she'll be gone for a few weeks tops. Unless even if she's starring, maybe a month, maybe two. Shootings don't go for that
Well,
long.
What if
would
it's
a big
not a
project
big
like
movie?
Doomsday?
What if it's like a made-for-TV movie and they're blowing it up to be this giant Hollywood thing?
It's
the Marine.
Yeah, exactly. That's like whatever the girl.
Even though they
Yeah.
still call them Marines.
But no, if they did like a chick flicky Marine, like made for TV,
I can see Liv
Starring
Morgan
Liv
doing
Morgan.
that. I can. She's got the psycho in her.
or like a Lifetime movie.
Mans is saying in the chat that he also heard that the Liv might be in Avengers Doomsday and that she could be playing Dazzler, which
Live in a
She could be-
Hallmark Christmas movie. Christian movie.
Yeah, that she could be playing Dazzler in Avengers Doomsday, which if anybody doesn't know their comics, like probably both of
That's
you,
funny.
Dazzler is a mutant. So Dazzler's an X-Men and she's known for being a singer. People who were thought to potentially play Dazzler in previous iterations of Marvel movies was actually Taylor Swift. Sir Charles joining the chat saying Liv Morgan should play Emma Frost, and actually that would be absolutely amazing for her to play Emma Frost. Who is like one of Cyclops' lovers in the comics as well. But back to Dirty Dom. Apparently he's a face in Judgment Day, where JD's back. Yay for JD.
Good for him.
And Finn,
Yeah, good for
Finn
him.
Balor's bitter.
I think Kay.
I think
called
I
that as
called
well.
JD returning. I have to check our thing. Yeah.
Someone called
Yeah.
Katie.
JD
It wasn't
returning.
me.
So yeah, Dom's at the IC title. It's going to be interesting to see what his run does and how he's received. He became like a Kevin Owens cool heel. Like he's still a heel, but he's kind of cool now.
And I told you he'd pin
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finn.
Yeah, Finn's breaking away soon, I think.
I can't wait.
Yeah, Finn's
I
breaking away
miss
soon.
Finn being good.
I don't know if he's going to be good. I think it's going to be more like anti-hero. I think it's going to
No,
be like
no.
Finn
No.
can go and
That's
join
not what I
Cody's
mean. I don't
Bullet
mean
Club
good like a
stable when
face.
he
I
turns
mean
heel.
good like enjoyable to watch again.
second run NXT Finn.
Yes. I
Mm.
miss like 10 years ago Finn.
Second run NXT Finn was fun. It was a fun time. So moving on from that, Jacob Fatu is going to be the biggest face in the company and like by SummerSlam.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
What a great match for Jacob Fatu. I don't know how LA Knight caught him in a BFT from the top rope.
Crazy.
That was
oh my
wild.
god.
That was wild.
So good. Jacob
I
Fatu's
showed my
go
I
ahead.
showed my non-wrestling watching friend that match. They lost their shit for
Mhm.
that.
Jacob Fatu still looks like he's out of like a prison work program.
He does. Dude, it's just I want to feel bad for Solo because they had like a bunch of booking planned out for Solo and they just went erased.
Two,
Fa, two, U.S. champ, Fa, two.
Solo's not charismatic
And Solo's
at
just
all.
They got nothing for Solo.
He was supposed
sad.
to be, the next in line after Roman dropped the bloodline and all of that stuff, and it was going for a while, but then Fatu just caught so much fire.
Dude.
He's so entertaining. It started with his pre-match promos when they were walking to the ring, which were so unhinged.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you, Solo.
Solo.
Now it's
and the walk.
Which
I see people on TikTok doing the Jacob Fatu all the time.
It's either the Jacob Fatu walk or the Penta walk.
Or the Penta walk.
The Penta walk's my favorite walk. And now his new tagline of Yada Namin. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. He's got it.
Yeah, dude, he's got it. He's got all of it.
Presence, aura, great random sayings. Like Yada Namin is going to be a t-shirt somewhere.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I bet he
absolutely.
That. Like this guy, he gets it. He gets everything, and we, the audience, we also get it. And like all creative need to do is be like, all right, is he a face? Is he a heel?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't really matter. Let's just have him do shit, and the crowd's just gonna love
I
him.
feel like he's like a relatable. He's like a normal ass person.
Kinda.
I wouldn't say that. This dude looks psychotic.
I know he like looks crazy, and like people probably like feel away because he's been in jail or whatever. But like, he's like a normal guy, like not rolling around with like the Rolex or like trying to chase clout. He's like genuinely just himself. He can fucking wrestle, and I feel like he just looks like a normal person, and I feel like people like watching at home can see themselves in a Jacob Fatu.
Kinda.
Like, I feel like Solo Sikoa not like, as relatable. Like,
that's true.
He's like,
yeah, you're a prince.
Yeah,
fuck off.
Jacob Fatu, not a prince.
You're a wrestling prince.
Normal dude living his life, loving Solo, and look at him, he's a champ now.
Yes, we do know different people, Matt. Yeah, so congrats Jacob Fatu. He's going to be very interesting and things like that. Moving on to the hey, let's see if this works match. We have Tiffany Stratton who beat Charlotte Flair in more of a match, less of they're just going to hit each other. And I was going to call her Storm because she always looks like Storm. Jade Cargill beating Naomi. Which I will say, Jade's match with Naomi, real quick with that, I think there's a thing where like she has fantastic finishing sequences. Mm-hmm. Like her feats of straight finishing sequences are amazing. I think what she'll probably work on moving forward is how do you build to that? I mean, granted, that wasn't her spot to build to because Naomi should be building for her, and I think, they played the roles as best as they could. But what makes Jade shine is her feats of strength finishing sequence. Like, she caught Naomi and, like, just slammed her to the ground. I think it was, like, a power bomb or something. I totally forgot the sequence. And then, they had a decent match. And then you had Tiffy and Charlotte, which was... It was a match that occurred. It's a match that occurred. And you can tell there were some liberties taken. With Tiffy and Charlotte, you can tell they don't like each other because it showed in the match. Because all three of us were at Survivor Series, 2021, at the height of Becky and Charlotte hating each other, and they put on a fucking classic.
Yeah.
They did put on a classic. They were both extra professional about it. In 2021, that is. Like, there was real heat there, top stars, but at the end of the day, they realized, hey, we're both top stars. We really can't be doing this. Let's just... I still hate you, but I'm going to work with you. And, like, I think the match was okay, but it's the body language told a story. Like, remember because Rhea and Charlotte is a great example.
Yes.
The second one. Because when Charlotte lost her title, there's a shot of her on the ground crying but smiling.
Yeah.
Because she did her job well.
Yeah, Mercedes did the same thing with Bianca.
You didn't see that. Yes.
Rhea
absolutely. You did not see that tonight.
No,
you did not get
at
that
all.
with Tiffy. It's like Charlotte just
Yeah,
pretty much
got
got
out
the
and
fuck out of
bounced.
there. Like she did her job. She didn't. I don't think she tried to bury Tiffany. I think she generally tried to put her over. The match just wasn't. Tiffany Stratton just isn't Rhea Ripley.
I
And
think that this made me respect Tiffany Stratton a lot more.
really,
Like, I've always felt kind of like I like Tiffany Stratton. I've never been like super hype on her. Like I think she's fine,
Mhm.
but like Charlotte like low key beat the shit out of her. Like that was a very stiff match.
you can tell the shiner on
Like-
Tiffy's forehead that she still had for
Her
a
fucking
while.
her veneer fell out.
Yeah, you can put it back. I mean, look at Roman's teeth. Roman's teeth were shiny as hell in the main event.
My shiny teeth and me, Chip Skylar came to WrestleMania also, but like I felt like I think there's a difference when people are wrestling that like they don't like each other but can like get it together and like get in the ring like
Mhm.
Charlotte and Becky did, Punk and Seth. Like they don't like each other, but they work really fucking well together. But in this circumstance, like their hatred like does not like translate in a good way. Like if I never saw them wrestle again, it would be too soon.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too. I'm very
Like
okay
together,
with that.
separately doing it like fine, but like I never want to see the two of them wrestle each other again.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it is. I mean, and now Charlotte's out Charlotte's gonna disappear. You had Tiffy and Jade, which again was a match that was kind of clunky, but it was like, hey, let's see if this might work. And I think it might work in the future. This is just a test out match that they happen to do on SmackDown. Which, listen, you made Tiffy a big deal. Your signing of Jade about 2 years ago was a big deal. It's about put up or shut up time for both of them. Let's see what they can do. Let's see if they can carry, into the future. Because honestly, Naomi's not going to be around for much longer. She's talking about wanting to have a child. Bailey's talking about leaving. Roman's talking about leaving in 2 years. Or less than 2 years. Seth is talking about leaving.
Seth is, I think, 45.
Punk's
winding down. So at this point in time, you got to start building all of them. By hook or by crook, or just buy another promotion, which is what WWE's doing.
That too.
I mean, they kind of are though. I think they are doing a good job of making new stars, particularly in the women's division. As that original core four wine, like look at that Monday, Roxanne and
Stephanie Vaquer.
Is that her name?
My boo.
Like I know Roxanne a little bit. I barely know Stephanie Vaquer, but when they had their like big situation, like I knew it was a debut, but they fit right in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they're both main roster ready. Like it's clear and obvious. So when these guys are on their way out, it's very easy to slip those new guys in. And wrestlers get better with age. Once you in that men's division, once you have those guys wind down, you have people who have been there for a while and are memorable, like a Montez Ford, who is just bound for a massive breakout year. So their roster is a little deeper than you think
Stephanie
it
Vaquer
is.
is amazing for me.
I love her.
Yes. And Stephanie Vaquer is only 25, 26.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought she was 30.
No. She is, if you ever watch...
She has time.
Yeah, she has time. If you ever watch NXT, when she does what she's called the Devil's Kiss, which is the same move Charlotte did years ago, where she wraps her legs around her neck and like slams her head in, you have to listen to Booker T when they do that call. Booker T is literally like going to make a mess of this pants. He's like, yeah.
The ass thing. I was telling my friend about her. I'm like, you like Rhea Ripley? Check out Stephanie Vaquer. I just sent a gif of that.
Yes. You got to take the gif of Stephanie Vaquer walking out at the Rumble.
I sent that too.
Yeah.
I sent that first, and then I sent the ass.
Yeah.
I know how to get people into wrestling.
To be honest with you, of all the things I've seen from like people on YouTube and stuff, the biggest person to get people into wrestling in the last year or so is Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah,
I've known
the lesbians love her.
Even the straight chicks, they're just like, I love Rhea.
Great.
We love mommy, and I'm like, I get it. We all do. The only person that probably hates us is Buddy Murphy.
He did Chris Van Vliet, and I like watched part of his interview.
He's
today.
funny.
He loves that woman. It's so cute. He was like talking about like how Rhea was always one step behind him. Like when she came, like, he was wrestling in Australia and she would watch him, and then when she was wrestling in Australia, he moved to America. Then Rhea moved to America to join NXT. Buddy left NXT to go to 205. He was always a step ahead of her, and he's like, now she's 17 steps ahead of me, and she deserves all of it. Like, it's very
there's a clip I heard of now, because Rhea gets stopped all the time when they're out doing stuff to get pictures, and so Buddy makes it a point to kind of just photobomb the picture.
Oh, I saw that. He had the flowers in the public.
He had flowers and roses in one in the Publix.
And then he was like making a face in like a Walmart or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it is crazy stuff. So yeah, the women's division is in good hands. Nia Jax is back on TV. Naomi and the caution tape angle is actually really cool. Like, I think Naomi has a good thing with the heel thing going on.
I love it.
You know, Julia and Roxanne are looking to be pretty much permanently main roster now, as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was yes. Yeah.
Really quick, also. So WWE mentioned this before. So whenever a superstar gets like their first Raw match or first Raw appearance, they're going to be wearing like a Raw or SmackDown like debut patch on their gear, and then they're going to like auction it all.
Like the Girl Scouts?
I guess, I don't know. So like when Roxanne came out on Monday, she was wearing the Raw debut patch on her boot.
Oh. Because, like, in Girl Scouts, like, whenever the Girl Scouts would, like, do, like, a trip or accomplish something, you would get a patch for it.
Ah, gotcha. I just got my Girl Scout cookies over the weekend, too. Yay.
Oh, wow. What'd you get?
I got the lemon leader ones, like a pack of those. And then I got 3 boxes of Samoas and 3 boxes of Thin Mints.
Hell yeah.
Oh, dude, Work's been giving away so many Girl Scout cookies, too. I've had, like, 2 boxes of the coconut ones.
Mm-hmm.
Samoas, yeah, dude. Like, I hate coconut.
Samoas all day. Samoas all day.
But the Samoas are delicious. Like, they're. I was like, I can barely taste a coconut.
I can eat a whole.
I love the
Samoas. They're my OG favorite.
Whole box, dude.
They're smaller. I was
box.
a Girl Scout for a really, really long time. The cookies are smaller.
It's fine. It's probably better for everybody involved.
But they taste the same. They're still good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. So the other thing that happened is Pat McAfee got choked out the night after WrestleMania.
Fucking crazy.
Gunther choked out Pat McAfee.
Dude, Michael Cole too. Michael Cole was just sold that so well. Dude, that whole segment was
You know what sold
perfect. It was exactly what that was a goofer.
You know what sold it was that Pat McAfee's friends from the show hopped the barricade.
Mm-hmm.
Creating legitimately pure chaos.
Dude, I was almost just like, I bet no one told them.
I thought so too for a second.
I was like, oh my god, I think it's real.
Honestly, because if I was Pat McAfee,
I was like, no one told them.
Because if I was Pat McAfee, I wouldn't have told him either.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have told him. Yeah, because it makes a better moment. But
hey,
you got
these guys are going to jump the railing.
I'm not telling them.
Yeah.
Be ready.
Because a couple of his friends were like really trying hard.
Yeah, they either sold it or they didn't know. Like, sold it perfectly or they had no idea.
And so we are getting at some point, because Pat McAfee is not Pat McAfee, Gunther is kayfabe suspended. He's on vacation. But apparently he is going to come back for Backlash, because we're getting Pat McAfee versus Gunther at Backlash. And Pat McAfee, we saw Raw last night, cut a promo better than half the roster again.
Incredible. Promo of the year.
Did you watch you didn't see Pat McAfee's promo last night, did you, Will?
No, I was gonna watch Raw.
Watch it.
Watch
tonight.
Watch it. Pat McAfee literally doesn't even get in the ring. The picture I have here, he's standing on the announce table and cuts this promo.
Amazing, dude. I thought this was gonna be him being like written off, but college football until the fall. Where could he possibly have to go? So no, this is an angle. Yeah, dude. Like, if he wrestles Gunther or whatever he does, I'm about it, dude. I mean, I love Pat McAfee in the ring.
Honestly, I forgot how good of a promo he is. He cut a promo about, he's like, when I leave this world, I want people to know that I was just a good person, and just went off. And he goes, I think one of you said, like, when I leave this world, I want people to know.
LGBTQ plus community.
Because of all the donations he does. He said, when I leave this world, I want people to know, but I was fucking loyal. Like, he did a really, like, curse-laden promo that they bleeped out from time to time, but you knew what he was saying.
Like, you don't fuck with my family. You don't fuck with
the people I love. Yeah.
Fuck with Michael Cole.
Yeah, I was like, damn, this is really good. I'm sold on
It
this
was
match.
really good.
Yeah. So Pat McAfee stealing the promos. Like Pat McAfee should teach promo school at this point.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good. And so there's that. And then Rusev Day occurred, and my Lord Almighty, he looks in amazing shape.
Incredible
He's
shape.
very scary. Very, very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he looks great.
The only thing I didn't like about Rusev returning is they did it in such a nothing New Day segment again. The New Day had a nothing segment just for something else to impact it. What's interesting?
Yeah, it made no sense to me.
Yeah, what's interesting about Rusev, because they gave him a vignette last night, and they talked about his, he said, "I left WWE and I went into the abyss."
Wow. I mean, he did pretty much.
Yeah.
Also, before you, I know, it's a quick sidebar on Gunther. When he comes back, he needs to look like Rusev. I know it's WrestleMania. He was kind of getting some man titties.
I mean, he's not as big as when we met.
He needs to be a little more lean.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. He's not fat, but he was getting a little. He needs to muscle up a little.
Okay.
But needs to be top guy in wing shape. But yeah, Rusev.
Yeah, what I think is very interesting about in his
promo.
vignette package after saying "win to the best," he's like, now he's more focused because he talked about letting go of Lana, so we're not going to see Lana. He's like, I don't have a woman that doesn't care about me anymore, or something like that. So I know in real life and back there, but the storyline looks like Lana's not coming back. It's just him.
That's
he's
fine.
signed to
That's
a Legends deal, so I'm wondering, is it just for appearances or whatever?
Probably just for appearances.
So she's allowed backstage.
Pretty much. Pretty much she's allowed backstage. But I'm happy for Rusev. This is going to be interesting. That Intercontinental US title scene is going to be, that mid-card scene where Rusev's going to linger out for a little bit is going to be interesting. This could also be an interesting, not major pay-per-view challenger for Jey Uso as well.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Jey Uso Rusev would be a really interesting look for that as well. So Rusev's going to be, I think, a major player. God, he is so, this is the most jacked I've ever seen him.
Yeah. There's a lot of intriguing matchups for him. Definitely.
Yeah. A lot. And
him and Finn. Yeah. The thing we've never seen before too. But Alistair, I didn't watch it on SmackDown. Kay, how was it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The floor is yours, Slajan Kay.
Once again, all of my babies are in the same place, kind of. Jeff is next door. We'll get him back.
Mm-hmm.
So his music is back.
Yeah, well, he did not change his music at all. Well, the same music, the same entrance with the candles.
Obviously, dude, what else would it be? Dude, that was Triple H's shit in NXT. That was him showing off hey, Vince, this is how you do an entrance.
Years ago. Thank God.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's still selling the eye.
He looks great.
And he kicked Miz's head off because the Miz was the person he returned against. I saw online that the Miz's segment introducing him was similar to his introduction in AEW, because I forgot who it was in AEW, but whoever it was in AEW, they were both wearing an all-white suit. And they both got kicked in the head. They both got hit with a black mass. So yeah. The also amazing thing about that is that the segment before, his real-life wife, Zelina Vega, beat Chelsea Green for the United States Championship. So that was crazy. So yeah, that's pretty huge too. Yeah, it's Zelina Vega's first singles title. SmackDown this week. Yeah, Zelina Vega's first singles title. So congratulations to her. Obviously, well deserved. Chelsea Green posted a picture of the United States Capitol and the American flag and said, I did see that. Consider this my farewell address. Which, as much as I hate to see Chelsea Green leave, because I think she's 170 days as the first United States Women's Champion, give her some time off. There's so much more meat on the bones with her and the Secret Hervis. She could win it again and call her second reign, her second term as United States champion. That. There's so much more to do with that. But if she was gonna sell to anybody, give it to Zelina Vega. I like it. Let's see what Zelina Vega does with the title. Yeah, I mean, good for her. Yeah. For her singles title in WWE. So
she's been around forever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame Chelsea got hosed, but
Yeah, she got host. She got WrestleMania host. Yeah.
Did she publicly complain about not being on the card, or was that just more of the internet?
It was more of the internet, although
The
Chelsea
internet.
Green was very prevalent in their media, the media coverage. So she did a lot of interviews and stuff.
Okay, so it's not like they're punishing her.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
that's
like
fine. You know,
her
is what it is.
dropping right now like isn't necessarily a problem. Like she deserves to be on Mania though.
I agree. She did
Deserved
deserve
it over. Other
No,
matches.
absolutely, 1,000%,
Mhm.
10,000%.
Like she could have even been like she could. So apparently the rumor was going to be like her and Nikki Bella.
That would have aged so hard, but they'll probably do that at Evolution.
There's a Nikki Bella thing. There might have been an Alexa Bliss rumor, but they're saying they're saving Alexa for the Wyatt 6 rebrand.
Apparently, she's gonna lead the Wyatt 6.
Fine, that works. That works. They need a voice. I would have liked to have seen Chelsea Green essentially kind of get the Joe Hendry and Randy Orton spot where she comes out and complains that as the United States champion, I demand a match on WrestleMania, and then be like a surprise Nikki Bella or something like that, or even a
She's
surprise
done
Becky.
her. I would have seen Chelsea Green wrestle Randy Orton. She's done intergender matches before.
She was on Lucha Underground for a while. Yeah. Honestly, Chelsea Green taking
That
an
would've
RKO from Randy as the mystery opponent would be hysterical.
She's serving her country.
Unfortunately, WWE's too corporate for that to work.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to have seen it. Although, at a point, Randy Orton RKO'd Nia Jax in the Rumble. Because that occurred one time.
Anything's possible.
Anything is possible. And last but not least, like we were talking about, Will, I know you haven't seen SmackDown yet, but you need to watch this. This is probably, of all the TLC matches they've ever had, especially including tag teams,
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
top
Wild.
3 TLC matches ever.
Who is in it? It was Street Profits and who else?
Street
Motor
Profits,
City
Motor
Machine
City,
Guns and DIY.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Say less.
and somehow they were like, yeah, no, SmackDown, not Mania. This was also the better built tag team storyline that they said put it on SmackDown. And essentially, Will, think of how they did the Jeff Hardy Edge spot, except they put Ciampa through a table, and the person tackling Ciampa was Dawkins. Will is so shocked he actually froze.
Yeah. Ice cold.
Ice cold. But Kay, while we're waiting for Will to return, what are your thoughts on this match?
I understand that SmackDown needed to sell tickets and all, but not putting this on the Mania card, I feel was a huge disservice. This match fucking ate. It was one of the best matches
Of the year.
of April of the year. Like, this will definitely be on best matches of 2025 list when we start rounding that up in December.
Mhm.
It was fucking great. It was interesting. I feel like it made everybody look good.
Yeah.
I actually did not think that Street Profits were gonna retain, but I am very happy that they did.
Yeah.
It was really fun. I low-key thought Motor City Machine Guns were gonna win, but it was just a great match. Really enjoyable.
You know what it was for me while I was upset about this is I thought when you look back at the Rumble, Motor City Machine Guns and DIY, I thought they earned their keep and deserved the Mania match based on that performance of the Rumble alone.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, in comparison to the New Day and the War Raider storyline, which was very undervalued, and I get why we put it there. But this could have been a great middle of the card match on either night of Mania.
Yeah.
And been
I feel
absolutely
like-
fantastic.
I feel like if they put that match on Saturday, it would have helped the real shitty card on Saturday.
I agree. Will, are you still with us? Yeah, you're still here.
I'm still here. But,
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hear me
You're a
now?
little better now.
yeah, luckily I can pick up the whole audio. I can actually know what we're talking.
Yeah,
about.
okay. No, that's good.
We're talking about the tag match still.
I will tell you.
Yeah, I would have loved for that to be on the main card. I mean, once I heard it was a TLC match, yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe next year we'll get TLC on Mania.
I think so. Again. So, Will, I'm gonna tell you the moment in the match where you're gonna be like, this is the greatest thing ever. So it's Montez Ford and Gargano, and I think either one of the members of Motor City Machine Guns, like in the barricade corner by like the entrance or towards the entrance, and there is a person in the front row who is an amputee. And the
no.
he's not a plant. He is confirmed not a plant. The amputee takes off his prosthetic leg and says, "Here, Montez, use my leg, use my leg." Montez takes the leg and hits Gargano in the back with it.
My leg.
And gives it back to the guy.
Okay.
It's so cool.
If I was
Please watch SmackDown.
amputee, that's exactly what I would do.
Same.
That is the exact same. I don't even care if he broke it. Like, if he broke it in two, I'd just be like, okay, just buy me a new one. But that was the greatest moment of my life. Other than finding out I survived my life being cut off.
So it's really funny because Montez found his Twitter. And so, because like he posted the video and Montez responded, he was like, "Thanks." He goes, "Thanks for that. You really gave us a leg up on the competition."
So funny. Leg.
I will say this: Montez is one of the best ad-libbers that WWE has. Remember when he took the baby at the end of Raw?
That was so fucking funny. I think about that from time to time.
They've used it as part of their promo package.
I still stand by it. If a wrestler took my baby to celebrate, I would let them celebrate with my baby.
No, he gets away with this. But yeah, that is WrestleMania weekend. In the aftermath of it as a whole, we're going to talk a lot more about Backlash next week. I don't even know if we're going to have a special guest or not. I got to talk with my agent, Slajan K, about potentially having a special guest.
I was going to put out some feelers.
Okay.
Try to find a special guest. I have some ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll see who I can find.
Fair enough.
Stay
Enough.
tuned.
Thank you for the update, Slajan.
Of course.
Also an update, and I think, Mance, if you're still here, you'll be very interested in this. I don't know if you're aware of this at all. However, we were contacted, or I myself was contacted recently from an old friend of ours, somebody who got us our start on Wrestle Addict Radio. That is Anthony DeStefano, formerly of the award-winning podcast Rant with Ant. And he had this idea, which is something that I should know as the current GM of Wrestle Addict Radio, that Wrestle Addict Radio was formed about 10 years ago in 2015. Yep, 2015.
Yeah.
So that'd be two months after Kings of the Ring,
which is kind of wild when you think of it.
Very bizarre.
Yeah, very, very bizarre in and of itself. And so Rant had contacted me and said, "Hey, I want to do something special for the 10th anniversary and put it on Wrestle Addict Radio's feed." So it is my pleasure, my honor, and my privilege to announce that May 7th, next week, Wrestle Addict Radio, for one night only, is returning with the original cast from Rant with Ann. We are talking Anthony, Rant DeStefano, my homie G-Rod, and Phil. I believe Phil's also going to be in this. It is going to be live on Twitch, May 7, 2025, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Twitch TV made by G-Rod is going to be that. I don't know what they have planned. I don't know.
So they're hosting the stream.
Yeah, they're hosting the stream. I'm not doing. I am hands off of this.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, cool.
I am hands off of this stream. I don't know if any of us are going to be on. I can always lobby for it. But this is the official graphic. 10th anniversary of Wrestle Addict Radio forming with the original cast. I don't know if it's going to be more than Phil, Anton, G-Rod. I could see Big Dick Nick returning.
Dude, Big Dick Nick, that would be wild.
I wouldn't be surprised if Issa shows up on the feed
that would
as
also
well.
Be wild.
It could. You don't know what's going to happen. Maddie Wilson can show up, man said, and apparently the gift of podcast was 6 months before Wrestle Addict Radio formed. So we all started podcasting around the same time.
Damn.
Which is crazy to think about. So yes, I'm very proud to announce that if you miss this show live, we will have this episode on our feed very, very soon after on that week. So if you miss Wrestle Addict Radio's 10th anniversary show live, we will have that finalized version on our feed ready to go as soon as possible once that thing is finished. So I want to thank Ant for reaching out to me. This is literally very developing in the last 2 days that this has come 2 or 3 days that this has come to fruition. So there's a thing where we're happy to have them back. I mean, listen, we wouldn't be on Wrestletic Radio if it wasn't for them reaching out to us to do it. So we're glad to have them for this one night only event. Bringing back the original crew. So be sure to tune in and hop in whenever you can. So Wrestletic Radio turns 10 next week, which is kind of wild to think about. We should probably do merch for that, shouldn't we?
That's a good idea.
We'll definitely figure that out. But Jesus Christ. So yes, congratulations, Wrestletic Radio turns 10. We're gonna do a big reunion show, or as big as they want it to be, and then we'll see what goes from there. So. And that pretty much concludes our show today. Listen, WrestleMania came and gone, and now we're building to SummerSlam, and we're probably going to complain about SummerSlam the first thing that we do in the in the next episode, especially if if we're not able to go, or if somebody we know actually spent $40K. I am looking to get some people to do this whole SummerSlam shenanigans, but I put out some feelers. Might be a little big party. Actually, you know what? Well, we should see if the Vast family's around.
That's smart.
Austin's not the
I really think they should, because I kind of want to see what's up with them and what's up with Little Johnny. They're probably listening to the show, and they'll probably hit me up afterwards. They'll be like, yeah, we're going to be there.
Little Johnny 21 yet?
Not yet. I think I think Johnny's in high school.
He just graduated high school. Is that
He's in high school. I think he's
in high school.
I think he might be graduating high school soon.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel really old, because I first saw him when he was like a child, when he was like Izzy's age.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. That's how life works.
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting next week. We're going to talk about Backlash and all that fun stuff. Anybody else with any final words?
I got nothing. The Mets are still winning.
Yes, congratulations.
Yankees are up 13. Yankees are up 13-1. Rodon had a no-hit. They had a perfect game going to the 6th inning.
Who screwed it up?
Rodon. He let up a walk and then a double.
Listen, Rodon's had worse starts in his life, so
you need a no-hitter and no walks going to the 6th inning. That's the best you're gonna get out of it.
yeah. Take it while we can. Just don't put in Devin Williams. Anywho, but
8th inning, baby. He's a good setup man.
That's true. Luke Weaver for the close, baby. All right. Well, ready for the music? Let's get us out of here.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's hit it.
Whew. All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of Ring Podcast, episode number 405, Ruin Wrestling, because John Cena is looking to ruin wrestling. And if he doesn't ruin wrestling, just put a hot mic on Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I've been your host, King Ricky Rose. You can find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets, BIGZ Ambassador Biggs. Find Kings of the Rings Podcast at KOTR_podcast across all social media outlets. Like, share, subscribe, leave us 5-star reviews. I would say buy some merch, but we are in the middle of a merch revamp, so hold on those merch purchases thus far. If you're listening to us, make sure you're listening to us on Wrestle Addict Radio, the cure for the common wrestling podcast. Host the Kings of the Rings podcast. Obviously, you're listening to us. The Young Lions Perspective podcast, the WrestleMania podcast, the Brace for Impact podcast, and for one night only next week, home to the original cast of Wrestle Addict Radio, May 7th on Twitch. It is going to be a fun time. And who knows who may or may not show up for that stream, for that feed. It'll be on Wrestle Addict Radio stream soon afterwards. Will Tarashak, congratulations on your 47% approval rating, by the way.
Hey, it's better than it was last week, baby. What do you want me to say? I'm an unpopular guy. People don't like me. Get over it. I've come to learn in my old age of 30 years old that people are going to like you or hate you regardless. Just don't be a dick. That's
congratulations. It took you 30 years to figure this out.
So
you did it.
Yeah, Ricky, I was going to, and then I say, hey, let's play these races with the NFL.
The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
So, okay, I'm on a 46 then.
Hey, y'all. I have nothing to plug. I am still in my fun employment era.
Yeah,
I'm once again in my student era. I am in my spring baseball era. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at KAE_FABE. Maybe Boris may be getting some content soon.
No, please don't
Possibly.
tell me. Please don't tell me. You're
I
making
have
some
been-
Boris stuff.
It is not my idea, but I have gotten many requests for TikToks of Boris, so I might have to start working on that.
I mean,
He's
whatever
cute.
works. That's true.
I need
Whatever
money,
works.
so let's get that creator fund, baby.
Let's make a Boris OnlyFans. It'll probably work.
Oh. No, no,
Only Boris.
Only Boris? Yeah.
Only Boris.
Only Boris. I'm telling you, it could work. Just be open to it. Be open to it. So when we come back next week, folks, we are going to talk about Backlash and all of that's glory. Hopefully we'll Bonely fans. That's a really good one, man.
There he is.
We're going to talk about Backlash. Maybe we'll have a special guest. Maybe we won't. We'll talk about something AEW might have done. Who the hell knows? We have to get back to AEW because Double or Nothing is coming up, so we kind of got to be aware of that as well. The Owen Hart tournament's in full effect, so there's a lot of stuff going on in wrestling, and hopefully it doesn't get ruined by somebody out there. But who knows? There's always tomorrow, and there's always next week. So until next week, folks, goodbye, good night. We'll see you soon. And new WrestleMania cycle, same hate. Fuck you, Slack. We'll see you soon.
Boom, roasted.
That's a shirt.
All right, so Ricky, I have one question about the NFL draft and tip in general.
Okay. What do you got?
Who makes the final pick? Is it the owner?
The owner's always going
Or
to
is
have.
like a GM?
It depends on the organization.
Well,
I mean,
as a Jets
ultimately,
fan, Woody Johnson likes the draft picks being based on
Madden
and
ratings.
trades based on Madden ratings.
That's
So
hilarious.
that's where we're at.
You should.
That's where you guys are at.
Yeah, you
But who
should.
makes the final call typically?
Typically, it's a general
I
manager.
think it depends on the team, right?
It does depend on the team. Typically, like rule of thumb is usually the general manager, although there are owners, Jerry Jones, who like to be very hands-on because Jerry Jones is the owner, but GM and the GM. So he always
Yeah,
makes a
so
decision.
it's totally actually it's probably almost confirmed that Jerry Jones is racist.
Yeah.
Because like when it comes to racism in the NFL, I understand the argument from the idea of on the ownership level.
Mm-hmm.
Right, there is systemic racism in NFL, so
Yeah.
that I think is a very valid argument.
Mm-hmm.
But systemic racism and the idea of like the players and the draft picks.
What do you mean the players?
I don't
in the
know.
draft
I don't know
picks?
much about this story in general.
Are you
but
talking about
please
Shador?
Yeah, in general. But so please enlighten me.
Okay, so you know who Shador's father is, right?
Yeah, Deion Sanders.
Okay, one of the greatest athletes in the history of sports.
Yes. Period.
And you know Deion's personality, right?
Piece of shit.
No, I like his. He's just confident. He's confident.
Cocky.
He's confident. He's successful. He took Colorado. Did you ever hear of a University of Colorado being like a destination place for college football?
No.
Exactly. He took that team to a bowl game for the first time in over 20 years. Before Deion, they won one game. And in 2 years, he brought them to a bowl game. Also, the guy who went second in the draft, Travis Hunter, was recruited by Deion. Travis Hunter was a number one football player in his high school recruitment class. And Deion was coaching at Jackson State University, which is an HBCU. And the number one high school player in the country said, "I'm going to play for him." So whatever Deion does works. Deion took his son, who's a 5'2" QB, who was also playing at Jackson State, and the number one recruit in his high school class to Colorado, and the number one recruit in the high school class won the Heisman this year.
Deion did.
No,
Deion's kid did.
Well, not Deion did, but the kid Deion recruited, Travis Hunter. So with Shador, there was a lot of with Shador Sanders, all pre-draft stuff was talking about how Shador was essentially a top 5 QB. He may not be a first rounder, but he may go like the second round, blah blah. And that was all the talk coming up all like throughout the entire cycle, that he's probably going to go in the first round or the second round or something like that. Then out of the blue on like draft day or the day before the draft, they were like, "Oh, well, anonymous sources came out and said, oh, he bombed a couple of interviews and he has an attitude issue, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And all of these rumors from unconfirmed anonymous sources saying that he was this, that, and the third, when he's never shown any of the, as people would call it, arrogance, but I would call it confidence, that his father had. Like, I've followed Shador and I followed the Colorado football team, because there's also a documentary on Prime about the Colorado football team, so it's a little bit easy to follow. He's not like his dad. He's a lot more soft-spoken, but he also has that competitive confidence. And he also was as good as the #1 overall pick. And people are like, well, he didn't practice. He didn't throw at the combine. Neither did the #1 overall pick. You know, he didn't do this and that, but a lot of the things that he didn't do, other players did. And they're like, oh, he has an attitude problem. He has character issues. You know who had a character issue that went first round? Johnny Manziel was a raging alcoholic frat guy playing QB. You know, and Baker Mayfield, I think, had like an arrest video come out. And these are both guys who went into the NFL before, in like the early rounds. So it seemed really bogus that all of these excuses came out that made him drop his, that made him go to like the 4th, 5th round to, of all places, the Cleveland Browns.
Well, didn't his dad tweet out, if I got traded to Browns, I'd request to trade immediately?
I don't know, but there was a
tweet from someone, I think it was Deion Sanders, like, if I got drafted to the Browns, I would request to trade him.
It was probably not,
and then his son got drafted.
It was probably not this year, but probably in previous years, because there was talks about, you know, oh, Deion's going to interfere in the process, which Deion came out and said, I talked to my son, I talked to Travis Hunter, they don't want me involved, I'm going to let it play out, and he stuck to that word. Like, you didn't hear anything from Deion at all. And there was a lot of just concerning things that where other people have done worse things that got drafted higher than Shador. And if he had, like, he did a bad interview or something, that happens, but like, it didn't stop him from getting drafted. Like Rob Gronkowski notoriously fell asleep during the Patriots interview.
Did he really? Of course he did.
You know, like, so a lot of the coverage on Shador seemed bogus that all of a sudden they just didn't want him. You know, there are rumors, and this is kind of, it's been, I think Boomer Esiason came out and said he had it on good authority that, I think we lost K, that owners went into a lot of their managerial people and was like, don't draft him, take him off the draft board. So it was just very weird for someone that was so highly touted, but all of a sudden no one wants him. Say that again, Will. You are getting choppy again, but go try again.
God damn it!
There you go.
Was the fourth round?
5th round.
Fifth? Jesus.
After we had already drafted another QB. So there's that too. Mm-hmm. The other time that has happened before, the Washington Commanders did it when the RG3 Robert Griffin III got drafted, as well as Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads me to believe that there's going to be something interesting going on there, because you don't draft 2 QBs and keep both of them.
Right. You got to trade. Some of them is trade bait.
Yeah, potentially trade bait, or something happens and someone like RG3 just had a bum knee and his NFL career got like cut short.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, but there are totally a bunch of teams that like didn't draft him that needed QBs that he would have been a perfect fit. Like the Giants. The Giants were like, yeah, we're gonna take this guy who's not as good as Shador in the first round. Or my fucking Raiders, because Shador Sanders already has a working relationship with Tom Brady, who's a minority owner of the Raiders, who's been involved in the QB process for the Raiders. I was like, how do you not draft him? Like, you have his number, Tom Brady. Like, this could have easily been squashed. We're like, oh, Tom Brady's going to coach him? He'll be fine. And then, I don't know if you heard about how he got prank called, right?
No.
So prank call.
No, he didn't.
So it's actually really fucking devious. It's more devious than you think. So what I've learned through this process is that the NFL gives the, college athletes personal cell phones just for the draft. So if they think they're going to get drafted,
so no one knows the number.
and then the numbers are only disseminated to like the coaches and the GMs of the league. So just in case like they need to get in contact with them, they can use that phone number.
Right.
So what ended up
that's so smart.
yeah.
That's so smart.
So what ended up happening was the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons, his son, so the DC's son, took his father's iPad that apparently was unsecured, found Shedeur Sanders' number, and called Shedeur. It gets worse. He impersonated the owner of the New Orleans Saints and told Shedeur that they were going to draft him. Oh, it gets worse. This dumbass recorded a video and put it on social media.
Yeah, obviously. That's why he did it in the first place. What do you mean? Like, I could have told you that before it happened. I'm surprised he didn't live stream it.
So apparently they obviously found out, and the kid like apparently issued an apology, and the defensive coordinator like issued an apology, and the Atlanta Falcons were like, "Our bad, like we didn't expect this to happen." I'm honestly surprised the defensive coordinator didn't get fired.
Yeah.
Because that's an extremely fireable offense. Like, how do you let your kid get that information? Like, oh, yeah. So Shedeur's having a bad time. And it was also because, like, you know, he was projected to go really high, and everybody said he's going to go really high. So for him to drop so drastically screams there's something weird going on.
Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Yeah. It did. I mean, a lot of people's like, it reminded me very much of like what happened with Kaepernick, although Kaepernick was already in the league before he got blackballed. It's obviously the situations aren't the same, but it's similar to like, oh, we have this person who is potentially very outspoken. Kaepernick was clearly outspoken about his views, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we have this person who is outspoken, or his father is outspoken, and we don't want that being like over our heads in the league, and so now we're going to kind of like squash him or humble him, and that's kind of like
have it be a distraction or something.
Yeah. And so it's just it's very weird for somebody who was clearly going to be an NFL talent regardless. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, granted, the odds are stacked against him. He's with the Browns. Like, he's with the Browns. So there's that.
He'll be on the Buccaneers before you know it.
The other thing about it,
they also need a quarterback.
The other thing well, no, they have Baker. Baker's doing good.
Like I said, they also need a quarterback.
The other thing about it too is that you also had talking about like, oh, he's like he might refuse to play or something like that. You know who infamously refused to play for the team he got drafted to? Eli Manning. Eli Manning originally was drafted to the Chargers, and Phillip Rivers was drafted to the Giants. Eli Manning got drafted to the Chargers. He blatantly said, him and his father said, I'm not playing for them. And that's how Phillip Rivers ended up on the Chargers, and Eli Manning ended up on the Giants.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Also, Elway did something similar when he got drafted. I forgot who drafted Elway originally, but he essentially said, F you guys, I'm not playing. I'm going to go play for the Yankees, which is what happened. No, he threatened to play for the Yankees because the Yankees drafted him.
That's hilarious.
So it's a lot of these things like, oh, he's going to do this, but like it's been done before by other people. So like, what is the big deal? Like, what makes him so different? That's why that makes sense. That's why it's so odd to people. You're like, we've had people in the draft who have done worse things and got drafted higher. You know, so it's that's why it's such a mind-boggling thing that occurred. But it could be all null and void in like 2 years. Like he could like have a career-ending injury because it's the NFL draft.
It's the NFL.
You know,
it's the NFL. The NFL draft is just overblown and overhyped for fucking rookies.
Yeah, although
half of them are not going to be in the league in 3 years.
Exactly. And and ironically, WWE sent Seth Rollins and Jimmy Uso to the draft to do picks.
That's funny.
So it's crazy. I think Kay dipped.
Yeah, K's internet went out.
Wow. And now yours
See,
is working.
mine's just spotty. Mine isn't shut off.
But yeah, that's the whole draft drama and things like that. So, but again, it's also a draft. Like, this is not going to matter 3 weeks from now. But we'll see. We shall see. But anyway, I'm going to go and so I can go suffer and watch Andor.
Yep, copy
for
that.
a couple
All
for like the rest of the evening and shit. But yeah, tell me when the audio is uploaded. I'll do a lot of the work tomorrow.
Yep, I'll take care of that when I get home tomorrow night. Or tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow night.
I'll be around. All right, kids. We'll see you later.
All right, I'll let you know.
See you, friends.